Hello, back again, this time the Australian A-League predictions for week number 18. But first, let's have a look back at what happened in week 17 matches. 5 games, not including the Wellington Phoenix, my team that had a bye last week. Starting off, Sydney against Brisbane War, also did a live watch-along for this game, so thank you for everyone that tuned up for that. In that game, Scott Neville got sent off for Brisbane with a red card after 2 yellow cards in that penalty box area. So Sydney got a penalty kick and converted it with Adam Lafondra in the 57th minute. Seemed like we all thought Sydney will win by such a big margin, but just the 1-0 victory in the end, but another 3 points closer to the minor premiership. So 13-11 shots for Sydney and 7-3 on target for them too. Newcastle Jets and Western United were a 0-0 draw, completely dominated by Newcastle with 26-4 shots and 6-2 on target. How on earth was there not a goal in this match? Adelaide got a 3-1 victory over Melbourne City, with Ben Halloween scoring a brace, Craig Moon scoring one for Melbourne City, George Blackwood also on the score sheet for Adelaide, as all 4 goals were scored in the first half. Dalbridge got sent off in the 26th minute mark for Melbourne City, and that leaves them with an impossible mission of coming back into the game. Perth Glory and Melbourne Victory was a 2-2 draw, with Kyle Levin scoring for Victory in the 23rd minutes, Boroli in the stoppage time in the first half for Perth, a boot scoring for Victory in the 58th, and Dave Augusto in stoppage time for Perth got them a draw out of the match, 14-8 shots for them, 4-3 on target. Western Sydney got a 3-1 victory over Central Coast Mariners, with Nicole Muller, Mitchell Duke on the score sheets for Western Sydney. Matt Simon scored a penalty kick for Central Coast, but Simon Cox, 95th minute, secured the game in the end for Western Sydney. 23-19 shots for Western and 5 each on target. And that was the 5 games of the week. And how I got on with my predictions, did pretty well. Managed to get 3 correct out of 5, including Sydney against Brisbane, Perth and Melbourne Victory to be a draw, and I managed to get the 3-1 correction spot on between Western Sydney and Central Coast. I went for Western United to get the victory over Newcastle, but Newcastle really should have won that game in that 0-0 draw. And the other match went for Melbourne City instead of Adelaide to win. And also, Gatman managed to make 2 predictions for these matches there. Both Sydney matches, Sydney and Western Sydney. He predicted both of those teams to end up winning, and they did. So well done to him, 2 out of 2. But be better if you could predict all 5 games there to see how you face off against me and how anyone else that wants to join along on these predictions there. See if anyone can get 5 out of 5 for this week. Have to wait and see. So here we go on to week 18 of matches then. Go for the head-to-head records, odds for the games, and my score predictions for the matches as well. Starting off with Melbourne City against Melbourne Victory, Melbourne derby here. 13 wins for Victory, 10 wins for City, and 8 draws. Victory with 1 win and 3 draws in the past 4, or 3 wins and 3 draws in the past 7 matches. So Melbourne City at $2 odds, $3.30 for the draw, $3.50 for Melbourne Victory. Melbourne City favourites for the team, but a bit of a bogey match against their Melbourne opponents. They're on second, 2 wins and 2 draws in the past 5 matches. Well, for Melbourne Victory, they're currently in 9th spots, 1 win and a draw in their past 5 games there. So it should be a pretty interesting and full of the game. Going to go for a 2-2 draw for my prediction. Next up is Perth Glory against my team, the Wellington Phoenix. 18 wins for Perth, 14 wins for the Phoenix, and 7 draws. Perth with 4 wins in a draw in their past 6 matches. Odds for this game, $1.67 for Perth, $4 for a draw, and $4 for Wellington Phoenix. Perth currently in 3rd spot, 3 wins and 2 draws in their past 5 games. While for Wellington Phoenix, 4 wins and a defeat in their past 5 matches. It's going to be a really tough game here for my team facing off against Perth. It's the long distance derby, as it's the furthest place in Australia from Wellington there. Though we have had the week off, so that could help with this new setup of 11 teams in the A-League there. But previous history hasn't been favourable with a few heavy defeats. But I believe we have improved there this season, plus the extra week off, and got to back my team to win. So I'm going to go for a narrow 2-1 victory for the Wellington Phoenix. Hopefully they can get the job done. Next up is the Sydney Derby, with Sydney against Western Sydney. 12 wins for Sydney, 5 wins for Western Sydney, and 6 draws. Sydney with 5 wins and 2 draws in their past 8 matches. Sydney are the favourites at $1.57, $3.75 for the draw, $5 for Western Sydney. On the table, Sydney blowing everyone else away, winning at least the last 5 games in a row. While for Western Sydney in 8 spots, 2 wins, 3 defeats in their past 5 matches, whopping 23 points between the two sides, and Sydney with a whopping 13-point lead over Melbourne City from first to second, and they have an extra game in hand over Melbourne City as well too. So surely they're going to win the minor premiership there this season, and I think they're going to win this game as well too. Going to go for a 3-0 victory for Sydney FC. Next up is Brisbane War against Adelaide. 17 wins for the War, 18 wins for Adelaide, and 8 draws. Adelaide winning the past 4 matches in a row. Odds for this game, $2.80 for Brisbane War, $3.60 for the draw, $2.20 for Adelaide. On the table currently, Brisbane War in 7th spots, 3 wins and a draw in their past 5 matches, while for Adelaide, 3 wins, 2 defeats in their past 5 games. So for this game here, I'm going to go for a very narrow 1-0 victory for Adelaide. And last up is Newcastle Jets against Central Coast Mariners. 2 teams who are desperate for points. 15 wins for the Jets, 13 wins for Central Coast, and 15 draws. Newcastle 5 wins and a draw in their past 7 games. Odds for this game, Newcastle are big favourites at $1.57, $3.75 for the draw, $5 for Central Coast. Newcastle are in last spots in 11th, 4 defeats and a draw in their past 5 games. While for Central Coast, just the 1 victory to go along with 4 defeats in their past 5 games. And both sides scoring less than a goal a game. But surely there'll be some goals out of this game, and Central Coast Mariners always concedes goals. I think they only got like 1 clean sheet in like 45 or some ridiculous matches. So Central Coast definitely concede, and surely they'll probably score something as well too. But Newcastle to get a victory they desperately need to try and avoid the wooden spoon there this season, and maybe push Central Coast Mariners back in that spot. Going to go for a 2-1 victory for Newcastle Jets here. And that concludes my Week 18 predictions for the A-League. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and comment below on your thoughts and predictions for this week's matches, and anything else you want to talk about, as I reply to all comments there. And if you're also interested in these predictions, also do other European leagues as well too, like of Scotland, Germany, Spain, France, England, and such. So make sure you check them out. Otherwise, come back here again for week 19 of matches, and I'll see you in the next one.